Revolutionizing Democracy, D.O.G.E's Comprehensive Overhaul of Government Engagement. Introduction. On February 8, 2025, the ambitious initiative known as D.O.G.E Department of Government Efficiency was formally launched, aiming to engage approximately 50 million citizens in a sweeping reformation of government operations across the United States. This innovative approach, championed by influential figures such as Elon Musk, seeks to drastically reduce federal spending by an estimated $2 trillion annually, thereby cutting through the layers of bureaucracy that have long hindered governmental effectiveness and efficiency. Background and launch of D.O.G.E. The D.O.G.E initiative traces its origins to the early days of Donald Trump's second term as president. In a significant move, Trump signed an executive order that established a commission tasked with identifying billions of dollars in federal budget cuts. Musk's reputation for innovation and efficiency in the private sector positioned him as a natural leader for this initiative. The name D.O.G.E draws both from a playful meme and the cryptocurrency of the same name, reflecting a contemporary and engaging approach aimed at the tech-savvy American populace. State-level responses and adaptations. Following the federal announcement, various states began to adopt similar models, particularly in Republican-led regions. States like Texas, South Carolina, and Iowa initiated their own D.O.G.E committees to scrutinize state governmental efficiency and expenditures. In Texas, a dedicated 13-member committee was formed to evaluate the effectiveness of state agencies, while South Carolina proposed the Commission on Fiscal Restraint and Government Efficiency, mirroring the goals of D.O.G.E but under a different name. These state-level initiatives reflect a broader movement among Republican lawmakers to align with Trump's vision of a streamlined government. Historical context and comparisons. The D.O.G.E initiative draws significant comparisons to the Base Realignment and Closure BRAC process of the 1980s, which successfully closed numerous inefficient military bases. Advocates of D.O.G.E suggest that a similar model could help avoid legislative gridlock and facilitate a more efficient review and execution of government spending cuts. The BRAC process was noted for its ability to operate outside the typical congressional deliberations, allowing for a more streamlined approach to governmental reforms. Themes of government efficiency and conservative support. A recurrent theme throughout the D.O.G.E initiative is the urgent need to enhance government efficiency and reduce bureaucracy. The approach is distinctly businesslike, paralleling Musk's operational strategies in his companies, which emphasize rapid iteration and minimal red tape. The initiative has garnered significant support from conservative lawmakers who have long championed the cause of reducing government size and spending. However, the ambitious goals of D.O.G.E have also been met with skepticism. Critics question whether Musk and his team possess the necessary understanding of government operations to implement such drastic changes effectively. Concerns persist regarding the potential for D.O.G.E to become another failed initiative if it lacks a solid structural foundation. Diverse perspectives on implementation strategies. The discourse around D.O.G.E includes varying perspectives on how best to implement its goals. Some sources advocate for a model closely resembling the BRAC process, while others push for a more radical overhaul of government practices based on private sector efficiencies. For instance, arguments have been made for an aggressive reformation of procurement practices, aligning them more closely with innovative tech companies like SpaceX. Conversely, critics argue that existing governmental efficiency panels already fulfill similar roles, questioning the necessity of creating new committees. They express concerns about redundancy and the potential for duplicative efforts in scrutinizing state spending. Timeline of key developments. November 2024, the D.O.G.E initiative is announced as part of Trump's broader government efficiency agenda. February 2025, states like Texas and South Carolina begin establishing their own D.O.G.E committees or similar bodies tasked with examining inefficiencies in state government. Ongoing developments. Discussion and planning continue throughout early 2025 regarding the structure and potential impacts of D.O.G.E, with advocates pushing for rapid implementation to mitigate bureaucratic delays. Conclusion. In summary, the D.O.G.E. initiative represents a significant shift in how government efficiency is perceived and pursued in the United States. By engaging citizens in this process and leveraging private sector strategies, D.O.G.E. seeks to revolutionize governmental operations. While it enjoys considerable support from conservative factions, the path to effective realization remains complex and fraught with challenges. The coming months will be critical in determining whether D.O.G.E. can fulfill its lofty ambitions or will ultimately fall victim to the very bureaucracy it aims to dismantle. Counterintuitive information in the content surrounding the D.O.G.E. initiative includes the following points. 1. Efficiency versus bureaucracy. While the D.O.G.E. initiative aims to reduce bureaucracy by adopting private sector efficiencies, the assumption that private sector practices can be directly applied to government operations is counterintuitive. Government services are structured differently and often require a level of redundancy and oversight that private companies do not. This leads to the conclusion that what is perceived as inefficiency in government may actually serve broader public purposes. 2. Historical precedent. The initiative draws parallels to the BRAC process, which successfully reduced military bases. However, the reality is that while BRAC did achieve some savings, it also operated within a context of increasing overall government spending. This suggests that even successful initiatives may not lead to the sweeping reductions in spending that proponents like Musk envision. 3. Perceived waste versus necessary services. The idea that there are vast amounts of waste in government spending is challenged by the notion that what one person views as waste, another may consider a vital service. This subjectivity complicates the narrative that government can simply cut spending without negatively impacting essential services. For skepticism about expertise. The skepticism surrounding Musk's and Ramaswamy's understanding of government operations raises an interesting point about expertise. While they are successful in the private sector, their lack of experience in navigating the complexities of government bureaucracy may hinder the effectiveness of their proposed changes. This highlights the irony that efficiency experts from the private sector may not always translate their success into the public sector. 5. State-level initiatives. The proliferation of state-level D.O.G.E. initiatives that mirror the federal model is counterintuitive in that it suggests a unified approach to reducing government size and efficiency across diverse political landscapes. However, the reality is that many states already have existing bodies and processes to evaluate efficiency, which raises questions about the necessity and potential redundancy of these new committees. 6. Economic context. The timing of these efficiency initiatives in a strong economic context with budget surpluses presents a counterintuitive angle. The rhetoric of cutting government spending seems misaligned with the financial reality that many states are not facing immediate fiscal crises. This could lead to questioning the urgency and necessity of such drastic measures. 7. Political ramifications. While Musk's involvement is framed as a way to galvanize support for efficiency, it also sets up a political dynamic where lawmakers can deflect responsibility for unpopular cuts by attributing them to Musk's proposals. This counterintuitive relationship suggests that political motivations may overshadow genuine efforts to improve government efficiency. 8. Public perception of government. The initiative's reliance on public engagement to drive reform contrasts with the typical perception of government inefficiency. Engaging 50 million citizens in a governmental overhaul assumes a level of public interest and trust in government that may not exist. This discrepancy highlights the challenge of mobilizing citizen involvement in a system that many view as ineffective or unresponsive. In conclusion, the D.O.G.E. initiative's premise of revolutionizing government efficiency through private sector methods raises several counterintuitive points that challenge conventional wisdom about government operations and spending. These complexities underscore the nuanced reality of reforming public institutions where efficiency, public service, and political dynamics are intricately intertwined. The D.O.G.E. Department of Government Efficiency initiative aims to significantly reform governmental operations through a major engagement of citizens targeting a reduction in government expenditures by up to $2 trillion annually. While many aspects of this initiative are discussed widely, there are crucial components that often go overlooked. Here I will highlight these elements and elaborate on their significance. 1. The role of citizen engagement. One of the most critical yet often overlooked aspects of the D.O.G.E. initiative is its emphasis on engaging 50 million citizens in the reform process. This level of citizen involvement is unprecedented in government efficiency initiatives. The significance lies in the potential for increased transparency and accountability, as citizens can provide direct feedback on governmental performance and spending. Engaging a large populace could lead to a more democratic process where voices from various demographics are heard, thus reshaping the perception of government as merely a bureaucratic entity into a more participative institution. This citizen involvement could also foster a culture of civic responsibility and awareness, encouraging citizens to be more engaged in policymaking and governance. The successful implementation of this engagement strategy could set a precedent for future governmental reforms, transforming how citizens interact with their government. 2. Historical context and lessons from BRAC. The D.O.G.E. initiative draws parallels with the Base Realignment and Closure BRAC process, which successfully closed numerous military bases to cut costs. While many observers focus on the current goals of D.O.G.E., the historical context is significant. The BRAC process was designed to circumvent legislative gridlock and bureaucracy, which often hinders effective decision-making in Congress. Advocating for a similar structure for D.O.G.E., as suggested by various experts, could ensure a streamlined approach to government efficiency. Understanding the BRAC model can provide insights into potential pitfalls and successful strategies for D.O.G.E. The BRAC's bipartisan support and its structure that allowed for quick decision-making could be critical in ensuring D.O.G.E. does not become another failed initiative. The lessons learned from BRAC could guide the establishment of a robust framework that prioritizes efficiency while navigating the complexities of government bureaucracy. 3. The skepticism surrounding implementation. While there is considerable enthusiasm surrounding the D.O.G.E. initiative, skepticism regarding its feasibility is a crucial point that deserves attention. Critics argue that figures like Elon Musk may lack a comprehensive understanding of governmental operations, raising concerns that the initiative might flounder without a nuanced approach to the complexities of public service delivery. Recognizing this skepticism is important because it highlights the necessity for a well-structured implementation plan that incorporates insights from seasoned public administrators. This skepticism also emphasizes the importance of thoughtful integration of private sector efficiencies into the public sector. The push for a business-like approach must be tempered with an understanding of the unique challenges faced in government, where the stakes often involve public welfare rather than profit margins. 4. The risk of redundancy. In states like South Carolina and Texas, where local initiatives resembling D.O.G.E. are being proposed, there is a legitimate concern about redundancy. Critics have pointed out that existing agencies already perform similar audits and efficiency reviews. This is significant because it raises questions about resource allocation and the potential for overlapping efforts that can dilute the effectiveness of government efficiency initiatives. Addressing this redundancy is crucial for the D.O.G.E. initiative to gain legitimacy and support. By ensuring that new initiatives complement rather than duplicate existing structures, D.O.G.E. can optimize resources and streamline efforts to achieve its goals. 5. Potential for misinterpretation of waste. The report highlights a critical dichotomy. What constitutes waste in government spending can be subjective. For instance, one person's waste may be another person's essential service. This is particularly significant in the context of public services that serve vulnerable populations. Misinterpretation of waste could lead to cuts that harm critical services, exacerbating issues rather than resolving them. Understanding this complexity is essential for D.O.G.E's success. Engaging experts who can differentiate between actual waste and necessary expenditure will be crucial. A nuanced understanding of what constitutes effective service delivery versus inefficiency will ultimately shape the outcomes of the efficiency drive. 6. Long-term cultural shift towards efficiency. The D.O.G.E initiative has the potential not only to reshape governmental efficiency in the short term but also to foster a long-term cultural shift within government institutions. By adopting a mindset focused on efficiency, innovation, and accountability, government agencies could gradually evolve into more agile organizations capable of adapting to changing societal needs. This cultural shift is significant because it could lay the groundwork for future reforms. If D.O.G.E successfully instills a culture of efficiency and responsiveness, it could inspire ongoing efforts to refine and improve government functions, creating a more dynamic public sector that is better equipped to serve its citizens. Conclusion. The D.O.G.E initiative is poised to be a transformative effort in rethinking government efficiency. However, the overlooked elements discussed here, citizen engagement, historical parallels with BRAC, skepticism about implementation, the risk of redundancy, subjective interpretations of waste, and the potential for a cultural shift are all critical to its success. Addressing these factors thoughtfully will be essential in navigating the complexities of governmental reform and ensuring that the initiative does not merely become another ambitious yet ultimately unfulfilled promise. 1. Engagement of citizens in governance. The D.O.G.E initiative aims to engage approximately 50 million citizens to actively participate in the governmental overhaul. This level of citizen engagement is crucial as it fosters a sense of ownership and accountability among the public regarding government efficiency and spending. The initiative encourages grassroots involvement, allowing citizens to contribute their insights and experiences, which could lead to more informed and effective governance. This democratic engagement contrasts with traditional top-down governmental reforms and could serve as a model for future initiatives aimed at fostering public participation in governance. 2. Reduction of government spending and bureaucracy. The D.O.G.E initiative has set an ambitious goal of reducing federal expenditures by up to $2 trillion annually. This goal reflects a significant shift in how government operations are viewed and managed. The push to reduce bureaucracy and streamline processes draws parallels to successful past initiatives such as the Base Realignment and Closure BRAC process, which effectively cut military spending by closing inefficient bases. This comparison suggests that a structured commission-based approach could enhance efficiency in government operations, though it also raises questions about the feasibility of such drastic cuts across various sectors. 3. Implementation challenges and skepticism. There is a notable skepticism surrounding the feasibility of the D.O.G.E initiative, particularly regarding the understanding of governmental operations by its leaders, including Elon Musk. Critics fear that without a well-defined structure and understanding of the complexities of government, the initiative might fail to deliver on its promises. This skepticism is further compounded by concerns over the potential for redundancy with existing efficiency panels and the risk of political backlash against proposed cuts. The success of D.O.G.E hinges on its ability to navigate these challenges and establish credibility among lawmakers and the public. For historical context and future implications, the D.O.G.E initiative is rooted in a historical context of attempts to streamline government, with the BRAC process serving as a potential model for its structure and implementation. Understanding the historical successes and failures of past efficiency initiatives is essential for designing a viable framework for D.O.G.E. The implications of this initiative extend beyond immediate budget cuts. It could redefine the relationship between government and the private sector, foster a culture of efficiency, and potentially reshape public expectations of government performance. The outcomes of D.O.G.E could set a precedent for future governmental reforms and influence how citizens perceive and interact with their government. 1. The New Deal 1933 to 1939. introduced by President Franklin D. Roosevelt in response to the Great Depression. The New Deal was a series of programs, public work projects, financial reforms, and regulations enacted to restore economic stability and provide jobs. It sought to engage and empower millions of Americans through various government initiatives aimed at economic recovery, social welfare, and fiscal reform. The New Deal fundamentally transformed the role of the federal government in the economy, similar to how D.O.G.E. aims to revolutionize government efficiency and citizen engagement. 2. The War on Poverty 1964, launched by President Lyndon B. Johnson as part of his Great Society initiative. The War on Poverty sought to eliminate poverty in the United States through various federal programs and policies. It aimed to engage citizens in the process of reforming social services and reducing poverty through community action programs. This initiative parallels D.O.G.E.'s goals of involving millions in government reform to enhance efficiency and cut unnecessary spending. 3. Reagan's deregulation movement 1980s. During Ronald Reagan's presidency, there was a significant push for deregulation across various sectors, including transportation, telecommunications, and energy. This movement aimed to reduce government intervention in the economy, promote efficiency, and encourage competition. The philosophy behind Reagan's initiatives aligns with the D.O.G.E. initiative's focus on reducing bureaucracy and government spending, as it sought to streamline government operations and foster a more business-like approach to governance. The D.O.G.E. initiative, or Department of Government Efficiency, is poised to fundamentally reshape the landscape of American governance. Aiming to engage 50 million citizens in a comprehensive government overhaul, this ambitious initiative is rooted in a vision to streamline operations, reduce federal spending by up to $2 trillion annually, and enhance the overall efficiency of government functions. Here's a future outlook on how D.O.G.E. might unfold and the potential impact it could have on democracy and governance in the United States. Predictions for the future of D.O.G.E. 1. Increased citizen engagement. D.O.G.E. aims to involve a significant number of citizens in the decision-making process. Utilizing digital platforms, social media, and innovative communication strategies, the initiative is likely to facilitate direct citizen participation in governance. Expect to see tools that allow citizens to suggest cuts, identify inefficiencies, and vote on proposed changes, fostering a more participatory democratic environment. 2. Adoption of private sector practices. Drawing inspiration from Elon Musk's entrepreneurial ethos, D.O.G.E. is likely to implement private sector practices within government operations. This could manifest in rapid iteration, aggressive procurement reform, and a focus on data-driven decision-making. Expect to see pilot programs aimed at experimenting with new technologies and management practices that could yield substantial efficiency gains. 3. State-level replication and experimentation. As seen in states like Texas and South Carolina, the D.O.G.E. model may inspire similar initiatives at the state level. These state committees could serve as testing grounds for innovative government practices, potentially leading to a broader movement across the country. This decentralized approach could allow for tailored solutions that reflect local needs while contributing to a national conversation on government efficiency. 4. Challenges of implementation. Despite its ambitious goals, D.O.G.E. will likely face significant challenges. Skepticism regarding the feasibility of proposed cuts and the complexities of government operations could hinder progress. Resistance from entrenched interests within government and concerns about the implications of drastic cuts on vital services may lead to pushback. Expect a contentious political landscape as various stakeholders navigate the balance between efficiency and public service needs. 5. Legislative dynamics and political feasibility. The D.O.G.E. initiative will hinge on the political will to enact substantial reforms. If the initiative is perceived as a genuine effort to streamline operations rather than a cover for broader cuts, it may gain bipartisan support. However, if it is seen as solely a conservative agenda, it could provoke significant opposition. The success of D.O.G.E. will depend on how effectively it can communicate its goals and outcomes to different political factions and the public. 6. Utilization of technology. Expect D.O.G.E. to heavily leverage technology to achieve its objectives. The integration of artificial intelligence, data analytics, and digital platforms could transform how government agencies operate. This technological shift may streamline processes, enhance transparency, and improve service delivery to citizens, aligning government operations more closely with the expectations of a tech-savvy populace. 7. Potential for a new governance model. If successful, D.O.G.E. could pave the way for a new governance model characterized by efficiency, responsiveness, and citizen engagement. This might lead to a fundamental rethinking of how government agencies operate, with a shift toward performance-based metrics and accountability. Such a transformation could redefine the relationship between citizens and their government, emphasizing collaboration over traditional bureaucratic structures. 8. Impact on federal budget and policy priorities. A successful implementation of D.O.G.E. could have profound implications for the federal budget. By identifying and eliminating waste, the initiative could redirect funding towards more impactful programs and services. This shift may also influence policy priorities as the government re-evaluates which services are deemed essential versus those considered expendable. 9. Long-term cultural shift. Beyond immediate efficiency gains, D.O.G.E. could instigate a long-term cultural shift within government. A focus on efficiency and accountability may foster a new mindset among public servants, encouraging innovative problem-solving and a willingness to embrace change. This cultural evolution could lead to a more dynamic and effective government capable of adapting to the challenges of the 21st century. 10. Global influence. As D.O.G.E. gains traction, it may inspire similar movements in other countries grappling with government inefficiency and bureaucracy. International interest in innovative governance models could lead to collaborative efforts and the sharing of best practices across borders, positioning the U.S. as a leader in government efficiency reform. Conclusion. The D.O.G.E. initiative represents a bold attempt to revolutionize democracy and redefine the role of government in society. While challenges and skepticism abound, the potential for increased efficiency, citizen engagement, and a more responsive government could reshape the American political landscape. As we look to the future, the success of D.O.G.E. will depend on its ability to navigate political realities, engage citizens meaningfully, and implement transformative changes that resonate across the political spectrum. The coming years will be critical in determining whether D.O.G.E. becomes a model for effective governance or another chapter in the ongoing struggle for government reform.